give me a 5 for 5 in there. See what's going on today. 28 years. 28 years, alien. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. 5 for 5. Sweet. We're going to get right into it then. Get right into it. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Yeah. Low volume. Really. Let me, we'll check. I'm at 100%, guys. I guess I could check this real quick. Yeah, I can't go any higher. Is it sound low to everybody else? Hold on a minute. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Sound is fine. Good here. Yes. Yep. Getting some yeses, getting some nos. Let me know if I need to make an adjustment here. I tell you what, hold on 1 second. I might be able to help it. Let's try that. Is that any better? Just yell at it. Okay. All right, cool. All right. We'll go ahead and get into it. Sorry about that. If somebody's getting low volume, I don't know what else to do about that, but okay, cool. If you got low volume, maybe you might refresh. It might help. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it, guys. We got the Schumann Resonance here. Really nothing going on as far as the resonance changing. Hardly at all there. So yeah, it could have been. You know, when I set my laptop out here, guys, sometimes I'll block the mic on accident. It's underneath my computer. It's kind of on the end, but yeah. So that might have been what was up. I moved. I set my computer on a little stand so I can get wind underneath of it, or airflow anyway, to keep it cool. And sometimes it blocks that mic. So all right, cool. All right, we're back into it then. So anyway, with the Schumann here, there's not really nothing going on, and you know, with us having geomagnetic storms, it just shows you the Earth, you know, fending it off rather well. So yeah. Hey, good to see you, Anna. Everybody else in there that I haven't said hi to yet. Sorry. I want to say something to you here with the Spaceweather Prediction Center, the tool that the mess that it's been here, and I'm going to call it a mess because it is. What's happening, guys, you can check out, like updated news for space weather over here at NOAA. If you go down here, I believe it's all the way on the bottom. Let's see here. Space weather enthusiast newsroom. I'm not going to click on it right now, but if you go there, there'll be some articles, and if they're having issues, sometimes they'll post them there. And I think I kind of know what's going on here, because they've got Ghost 17, which is, we know that they switched over to Ghost 16 and 17. Ghost 16 is still their primary, but they have what they call redundancy, and it's another satellite, which is Ghost 17, and it's in operation now too. So I think they're trying to get all the bugs worked out between those two, and they're plotting both, and the site's having some issues. That's all that it is. Nothing's missing. None of the data's missing. It's just not being able to be posted yet because they're collecting it. They're having some technical issues, is what I'm trying to say. So, but you can see here with the blue line, that's Ghost 17. They don't have the red line on here after right here. So, I think that they're still plotting it because you can see it. Ghost 16 and 17 are up here, also in the electron flux. So they're both there. They just haven't, see that? They just kicked that in right there. So I guarantee you they're trying to fix whatever bugs they've got going on here. Also, you're going to have to realize it's the weekend, okay? Just like anybody else's job, I guarantee you they're on more of a skeleton crew during the weekends than what they are any other time, right? So, yeah, enough rain down there, Tam for sure. It's yeah. After what, Hurricane Ida, I think it was, came through there, Texas and Louisiana and Alabama, all that. Just a lot of rain. It's always, I mean, it's been I know that we all kind of focus on that because of Hurricane Katrina when it went through there, but there's been multiple ones since then that people just are not paying attention to. Yeah, it's bad news. Okay, so anyway, this right here, this box is lighting up and lighting and going away. Well, it's been 24 hours now, so you won't see that lit up anymore, the geomagnetic storm. What you're going to see here, you can see it here, right? So we did get to a G1 for about 6 hours there, it looks like. At least it averaged out to 6 hours. And, well, that is 6 hours of data, but they took an average. They do 3-hour increments, and they take an average, and that's the point that they plot. So that's why that's there. Now, we're having, and it's, I know it's kind of odd to look at this, but these are flares up here. This is that data dropout we've been experiencing with the eclipse season of GOES, right? The Earth's passing between the satellite and the sun. So that it just so happens that we're getting flares like this one happened right before the data dropout, and this one happened after. But they are substantial flares. We just had another one right here, it looks like. It's not very big, though. That one's not. These are C-class, and I call them substantial in the fact that they're worth noting, okay? It's not like I'm saying that anything bad's going to happen or anything big is really, popping off right there. But I do want to mention that what I'm going to show you guys with this Halo CME and the action we're seeing on the sun is rather impressive. There was one that fired off the backside. We're not going to know how big it was because we don't have the data collection on the other side of the sun. Are you guys still having issues in there? Just let me know if you are. Somebody give me a fire for 5 before I move on. Okay. I'm sorry I keep asking that. It's just I've done like a half a live stream before and the internet cut off on me or something happened and I didn't, I was basically talking to the wall. So, all right, just making sure. So we need somebody, if you guys do start seeing buffering, my mods know that to tag me and just start bombing the chat with it. If it's just a couple people, it's probably local to where you're at. So I would say that. And the best thing to do is try to refresh. After that, I wouldn't know what to tell you to do to help that. But anyway, I'm not even going to look at this forecast because obviously, look, it's way behind. This is 16th, 17th, and 18th. This 18th should be over here. We should be able to see the next 2 days. We come back to this site in about 15 minutes. It might be there because it's bouncing back and forth. So what I'm saying is NOAA is having issues, technical, is what's going on here. So, see, look, I hit refresh. Look what this thing did. It went back to 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. So let's hit refresh again and see if it does anything. Nope. But they're working on stuff, obviously. Okay, so whenever I can show you the updated data, I will. Right here, let's see, is this one updated yet? Nope, this one went back too. So there's nothing there to show you. It was actually showing the updated one a minute ago. I was getting ready to run that model for you. But can't do that now. We'll sneak back to it in a little while. Here's the Discover data. And, well, we got lucky with this one. So the data's here. But notice how our BZ is running right in the middle. Let's check the date first, though. Yes, today. Okay. Whenever they're having issues like this, guys, always check the date. Because sometimes it'll revert back to whatever date. I'm not sure why it does that, but that's what it does. But anyway, as you can see it here, definitely see the BZ's kind of normal. And you can see the density. It's not really, we did take a pretty good density hit during that geomagnetic storm. It was from we got hit with the CME first, like side swiped, like a glancing blow, and then we entered into a coronal hole stream. So that's really what pushed us up into all of that. So that's what happened with the geomagnetic storm. And there's not really a whole lot of geomagnetism right now hanging around our planet. So let's take a look at this. We'll take a look at seeds real quick. Actually, I wanted to turn off Spaceweather or NOAA. So this is LASCO C2. Now remember, guys, this is the one that's out here, right out in front of our planet, about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. It's on the Soho satellite. It is, but like I said, it's about 1 million miles closer to the sun. But what this satellite does, guys, it orbits with the Earth around the sun. It always looks at the sun. Now, it's not in Earth orbit, okay, because it's in a position to where it hangs out about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. And it's actually a little bit to the west, or east, I should say. Remember, it's backwards when you're talking about the sun. East-west is directly the other direction. Again, they did it, and they never changed it back. Way back in the day when they first started doing this. So that's why it's like that. There's been so many data collections and stuff now, I don't think that's really possible to change it to as if you're looking at a map, because it would confuse so many people. It's easier just to say, hey, guys, when you're looking at the sun, to the left is actually east, and to the to the right is west. I know it's odd, but that's what we got, right? But anyway, this satellite hangs out in front of the planet, and it orbits with the Earth right out in front of us all the time as it goes around the sun. And it's always looking at the sun. Now, they can turn it, and they do from time to time. One of the good side missions that Soho had was to pick up sun divers, and that was unexpected at some level. They've caught so many sun divers on this tool since it's been out there, and I've shown you guys multiple of those. And when I say sun diver, I'm kind of generalizing, because there is a difference between a sun diver and a sun grazer. Okay, if it's going to graze, they'll look the same here, but sometimes, especially if it's a bigger size comet, it'll get close to the sun and you'll see it, and then it'll actually come back around the other side. Those things are orbiting our sun. Okay, and then if it's a diver, it'll actually dive towards the sun, and the sun will eat it up. Most of those, just so you guys understand this too, they never make it to the actual surface of the sun. The solar wind and all the stuff that's getting bombarded there basically just vaporizes all of it and destroys it. But there have been a few that have made it in there. So it's just cool to look at and see. And I show it to you guys whenever I see them. Usually on these, if you guys see me show you guys these before, they're just little dots with like a little tail. They're hard to actually catch just for me and you. But the satellite, they've caught so many of them. But the bigger ones are really cool, because you guys have seen them. They look like big jets just going around the sun. You can Google that and it'd be awesome. Hey, Seven, what's up? What's up, Ricky? I think I seen Tommy in here too. What's up, Tommy? Tommy's he's going to be going live tomorrow, 8 o'clock. I think if I heard him right, 8 o'clock Pacific, which would be 5 o'clock Eastern. Everybody, please check it out. It's his first live show, so we need to go over and show him some support. If we can get over there and do that, we got to get him to 4,000 hours so he can try to monetize the channel. He's already got the 1,000 subs. But one of the best ways to do that is to do a live stream, because you get a lot of people that stick around for a while. They're in the chat and all that. So it's a really good way to build up some hours. It would help him out. And anybody that hasn't been over there, please go over there. If I could get one of the moderators, or even Tommy, if he can do it, I'm not sure if he can do that where he's at right now, to drop the link to his channel in there in the chat. It's in my description if you guys want to know. So yeah. And again, I'm going to be doing some interviews with him over there too. So hopefully we can hook that up pretty quick. And I have to give him props on this. He just got out of jail back last October. Okay, guys. He was in for 7 years. So for him to come out and then to be able to actually navigate YouTube to the point where he can now live stream, it's pretty impressive. It takes somebody that's got some real dedication to fight through all that mess, because it can be rather challenging when you're first trying to do it. I try to help him whenever he asks me questions as much as I can, and he's asking other people too that do this. Obviously, his brother Johnny, Chase the Heat, knows what he's doing when it comes to that too, because he's done it for years also. So, but please come over there and show some support. Rampage, which is in my chat and in the comment section a lot, he's over there a lot. We've been able to contact with him and stuff, and he was sharing with the comment and the whole community that he was going to try to come off the pain pills, and we kind of inspired that, and I think that's a great thing. That's what's happening over there. People are getting help. They're getting inspired to try to, live the best life that they can. So, anyway, so we got this satellite out here looking at this halo, right? And that explosion right there is the halo. It's really kind of a partial halo. They call it a halo, obviously, because this is the occulter disk, and when it blows off, it kind of looks like a halo, right? And I always tell you guys, we don't know what direction that's actually going, if it's going straight behind the sun or if it's coming at us. Well, I can tell you this one's going on the other side, okay? And I'll show you here in just a second. But let me talk about these here too. This active area on the sun, if you guys watched any of the intro, you've probably seen it. It's been flaring. It's been having multiple eruptions. It's very active, okay? And it's very photogenic. I'll give it that too. Plus, we had this one over here, and then we like a few hours ago, we had a filament bust off the bottom here. So I'm not sure if that one's actually coming at us yet. We're going to have to wait and see. But you can see that the sun is still awake. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to, we'll look, that's the front side view, right, that we typically look at here. And I'll show you SDO here in a minute. But here's our side view. Okay, so this is how we can tell when you look at both, this is partial side view now also. I have to say that because stereo A is slowly creeping closer and closer to our planet, right? I don't know how far it's behind us right now. I think it's like a month or two, if I'm correct on what I'm looking at here. But I don't know the exact. So, regardless, it's about at a 45-degree angle now instead of closer to 90. Okay, so it's traveled that far, and that was the intent of this satellite anyway. It was always supposed to do that. It's been out there. I think it's past its life expectancy. Kind of like your car. It's exceeded the natural limits, but it's still able to give us data. So that's pretty impressive, if you ask me. But anyway, you got Earth over here, and the satellite would be right here if you pulled it close to your face. Again, it's basically in Earth orbit. It's just behind us a few months. Okay, so that's how we get a side view. Now again, we used to have a better side view because then we could actually, you go from this, say, and if we're looking top down, which we're not right here, but if the satellite was here and you move it 45 degrees, you see the angle, how it changes, how much more you would see on the side, on the back side even. Now remember, stereo B, they both got launched. That's why they call it stereo. You got one on one side, one on the other. We don't get data from that anymore. Long time ago, long story. Not going to get into that, but you can see it, right? I think they do, or they're able to communicate with it, but I don't know. I don't see any data from it, so I don't really have a whole lot to say on that. So, but you can definitely see that this one here, that there on the end, I believe is the filament release, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. This one here was actually pretty impressive. If we go back to the previous day, there's not a whole lot of data here right now. Remember, this is on seeds. I haven't went anywhere else to look because I just don't think I need to right now. I'm not going to waste your guys' time on that. So, but with that being said, we definitely have this one here has a chance of maybe impacting us later on. And so let's go take a look at that now. And this is SDO. This is the latest captures. So if what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to zoom in like I usually do for you guys, just to make sure you guys get a good view of this. Now, the 211, I want to mention this too. If you guys ever go over here to ISWA, what are you guys going to see? Well, it's a big hub up here, right? You get a lot of different space weather tools. So, and I'm going to run through these real quick with you guys real quick, okay? I know I said that double, but, you know, whatever. I'm sure somebody will call me a hillbilly in the comment section or something, but it is what it is. I'll wear that like a badge, other than being a jerk. You know what I mean? They can wear the jerk badge, not me. So anyway, if you guys go up here, you can actually look at flares, flare predictions. You can look at, these are coronal holes. So these are the known coronal holes. This one here is actually looks like a pretty deep hole. Pretty open there. So I would imagine we're getting real close if we haven't already connected to that. When I say connected, I'm talking about the magnetic connection lines we talk about. That's how the solar wind gets here, right? So if that opens up more, that means more of it's going to spew out while we're connected to it. So that's a coronal hole stream. So, yeah. But you can go up here and look at any of these things. You can go, you know, heliosphere. You got to check out the words here. Magnetosphere is our magnetic field stuff, right? And this is another place where you guys can come to look at the KP number. See, this is what I'm trying to say here. Like when we're looking at Space Weather Prediction Center and we're looking at the KP there with the geomagnetic storms, you can come over here and look at it too. Okay? So there's a bunch of different places we can go look at the same data, guys. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be real careful when you say something's missing time. You better make sure it's missing time before you say it. And I've been showing people over and over and over, the people that have been out here on YouTube, you know, doing all of that. I tried to help them understand that you can go to other places, but they're choosing to ignore it. And that's concerning to me, because that's, again, that's intellectual dishonesty, if not an outright lie. Okay? When they know that they can go somewhere else, but still come out and say, hey, the data's missing. But I can show you 1,000 other places where it's not. So, just saying. Anyway, I'm not going to get onto that tonight. We've been doing that the past few live streams, and I'm not doing that anymore. It's bringing me to a negative place, and I don't want to be there, and I'm not going to let somebody get me there anymore. But anyway, the 211, guys, it's that wavelength of light, right? So what are we looking at here? Well, you're going to see with this first explosion, like I said yesterday, you're going to see an atmospheric like ripple across the whole face of the sun. They call them solar tidal waves or solar tsunamis. We've seen them. I've shown them to you guys go across the whole face of the sun. So it's impressive to watch. So let me grab this slide bar here and we'll take a look at it. Is that whole thing in the picture there, guys? I don't have my OBS up here where I can see it. Hold on. I'm just going to look first. Okay. Yeah, it's there. All right. So it happens over here, obviously. And that's where the biggest one was. So I'm going to go forward. Now, I want to show you guys something that's interesting. Watch right here. We're going to get a little pop. See that? So this here, that little pop right there, could have been enough to go ahead and destabilize this one enough that where it blew, and then it actually reciprocated back and caused the sun to blow up here. It affected it at the very least. Okay, so watch what I'm saying here. You see that little pop there? Right there. I'll back it up and do it one more time. See that? Now, if you go down here, shortly thereafter, this is when the big one pops. See? See that? If you see the distortion on the sun, right, you can see it as it goes across. Boom. And then it ripples all the way across, and you can see it going that direction. But what happens shortly after that, you get an eruption up here. And, yeah, so I think it happened like before that. But anyway, that's what happened. If you go back and look, did you see that right there? I know it's hard to see. It's just Yeah, I thought I got to give you here. But you can see how when that thing blew, watch the distortion go this direction, and then this one blows over here. See? So the whole, you can see it even go across here. It goes all the way that direction, and then bam, it blows off this side too. I think it's like really, really, I'll tell you what, let me go back to that right there so you can see it a little better. So here we go, first pop, bottom left. Now look at the bottom left again. Boom. Now look at the distortion. You can see it going across the surface. And then it popped up the top right. So what I'm saying is that just because something happens on one side of the sun, that, and I've commented on this before, we oftentimes get a secondary solar flare or eruption almost 180 degrees if you drew a straight line through the sun. We see that a lot, especially with the bigger ones. Okay, so what I'm saying is that it destabilizes the sun almost, in a big way when those things fly off. So, and then if you guys look right there, you see the other ejection. Okay, so that was, I don't think that was the filament release. That's, and keep in mind, this is still behind the limb, but yet we're catching C-class flares from it. How do these holes heal? What we're calling holes is basically just an opening in the atmosphere. They call them corona holes, coronal holes. Okay, not the beer or the CV19er. They're called corona holes because the hole is actually in the corona of the sun, the atmosphere. Okay, so that's what you're seeing opening up here is the atmosphere, which allows what's on the surface to spew out. Okay, so these things fluctuate. The atmosphere, it becomes stable and then not, stable and then not. So, that's what gives us solar weather, is that process. Now remember, just like anything else, most things are trying to make it, when you're talking about atoms and molecules and stuff, they want to be in a stable environment. They're trying to get back to a stable environment. And you can even take that to AURORA, because that's exactly what's going on there too. When you get geomagnetic activity that hits your magnetic field, okay, those charged particles rush in, especially on the poles. That's why we see them on the North and South Pole. When they interact with these molecules, the color and the visualization we get comes from those molecules trying to get back to its original state. So in that process, it is making that wavelength of light. It's the wavelength of light that it puts off. And it is affected by atmospheric conditions and refraction and all kinds of different stuff is there. But at the basic level, that's what you're seeing. Charged particles hit the oxygen, nitrogen molecules. It disrupts their stable state. And when they're trying to get back to that stable state, that process is what gives you the light. The cool looking green stuff. Or pink or red. There's purple. All kinds of different colors. But watch the eruptions here. And we start seeing it better here on the 171. Again, this is why we look at different angstroms. You see that? That's pure plasma spitting, dude. That's just what that is. But notice, I want you guys to notice here too. Watch how the majority of this goes right back to the sun. Because what you're looking at, again, is magnetic connection line. Plus, there's gravity involved. Plasma has a mass, right? So wherever there's mass, there's going to be some gravitational effects. But most of this is magnetic, right? So as we see this, and watch it all go right back to the surface, okay? The stuff that gets to us is the stuff that doesn't make it back. It blows off hard enough that it pops on out. That's exactly what we've seen, right? So, and this is pretty photogenic one, by the way. I think I said that, but it is. Now here's that filament release right here. You can't really see the filament, but you can definitely see an eruption. See that? Okay, and then here on the end, we had another one, and but don't forget about the ones that happened up here. Yeah, let me the way I have this set up, I need to set it up a little bit different. Sorry guys, I just don't have the money to buy all that stuff. I wish I did. A lot of people have what they call switchboards in their studios and stuff, and they just have to hit a button. I have to actually, you see what I do, guys. I figured it out though, so we're good. But you can see how it's doing stuff everywhere. So let me go down here, and we'll check out the 131, because you're going to see the flare pretty well here. Okay, there's that first initial eruption. I think I showed you this one. That's actually the second one. But anyway, you see the flare part right there? This is basically the filament part. Okay, see, this shows you really well how it goes back to the sun too. You guys see that? They call that solar rain. Again, those are magnetic connection lines. Nothing's blowing. It's just moving. Okay? So, I know we use the word blowing when we're talking about wind. Okay? But they did it that way so that the mass amount of people would understand better. That's why. So you can even see the eruption here. And I know I'm kind of going into detail here on this one, guys, but this is a good one to look at. And we can learn a lot from this one. So, you see that. And then, boom. So, let's go over here and check out the 304. And this is where it looks like a big, huge fireball. And again, remember, it's not fire. It's plasma. All right? There's no oxygen involved there. That is, you got to have oxygen for fire. But anyway, and I know it's really easy to think the sun's on fire, right? I mean, that's what most of us thought anyway, including myself for a very long time. So anyway, as you can see there, now you can see how much of this is going to release out. Watch. See that? How extended out there, that little shaded red there? So this one happened at the right angle that we really got some really good captures of this. So, hey, Seaglass, is anybody else having problems with the internet, guys? Again, just tag me a bunch in the chat if you are. That way I can see it. So anyway, you got that. Yeah, that's right. I remember that too, Muskrat. I'm glad you remember it too. I did my show for almost 3 months on a broken telephone screen. And most people didn't even know it. So when people say, well, I can't do this or do that, I don't have much patience for that kind of stuff. When it comes to somebody that's been running a channel for 2 years and they say they can't make that any better, I oftentimes wonder their dedication. Like I said in here earlier, Tommy, he's jumping right into it. He's trying. Others that don't are either too scared or they're just lazy. Anyway, this is the filament release right here. Wham. See that? That's a true filament release. Okay? You see that breaking like your incandescent light bulb filaments? Breaks right in the middle. And that stuff ejected out. I just don't know if it's coming at us yet. We're going to have to wait and see. If I had to guess, I would say that this is going to go south of Earth. But that's just a pure guess. It's a roughly educated guess, I guess. But I guess. Guess genes. Guess who? Guess what? I don't know. Anyway. So you got that. And again, guys, I'm showing it to you guys because I think this is interesting. I think people want to see this part of it. Now, this is the 193. This is the most used view when you're talking about generalization that a lot of people that do the Spaceweather channels use. I use it a lot, but I don't use it as much as the others. Because what this one does is it'll show everything, but it doesn't show one thing perfect, if you know what I mean. This is more of a overall view, I guess. We can also look at composites also. They have those too. Now this is the 94, and I chose for a long time not to show you guys this because it's real grainy. See that? There's nothing I can do about that. But watch the flare here. See that? I mean, it shows up really well in this one. So as we move forward there, again, now this is from yesterday, just so you guys know. This one here is the one I just showed you on the rest of them. Look how big that got up there. See how that is? Ain't that crazy? But anyway, so there's your captures of that. All right. So here's your earthquakes. We did have a 4.3 in Los Angeles, right around some old oil refinery stuff. Anytime you get a 4 or anything like that inside of Los Angeles, it becomes a big deal really quick. It ended up not being a big deal, but it did make some people's butts pucker. I'll put it to you that way. It's just a highly populated area. Now, if there's any place on this planet that is equipped to handle an earthquake, that would be one of them. Okay? I know we all complain about building codes and stuff like that when we have to deal with it with our houses and our businesses and stuff. They're not complaining today. I promise you that. So, let's turn on all quakes. Okay, so notice I just turned on all the quakes. You guys know you can go over here and see the amount, right? See this up here? That's a 24-hour rolling 24-hour amount of quakes that USGS is plotting. That is a very low number. Okay? Yeah, it was a thrust quake. You're right, Mark. And again, I don't talk about that in detail like that because I'm not comfortable enough with the knowledge that I have on this subject. Again, I'm getting more comfortable, but I do think that I need to show it to you when the stuff happens. Because whether we can point to one thing or not of what's actually causing the quake, I do think that space weather does affect it. I just can't tell you exactly how. There's a lot of things out there that affect where and when earthquakes happen. That's why it's hard to pinpoint, hey, space weather did this. But I do strongly feel that space weather does affect it. Having one there in Hawaii, that's pretty normal. Now also keep in mind, USGS is not showing you everything globally here. Okay, so if I back out all the way, you can see clearly what I'm talking about. You guys think that earthquakes stop at the border of Canada? Absolutely not. Okay, anything up and down this line, I guarantee you there's quakes there. Let me show you. This is the Canadian site. Okay, and they plot earthquakes also, see? All up and down there. Now this is a 30-day thing. Okay? And we can back off and look and see where they're at. So I just wanted to show you that and explain that just for a second, because I do think it's important to understand that. But if you want to know the overall earthquakes, you can still, once you start looking at this more often, you'll be able to tell what is a numerous amount of quakes or not. I've been over here, and I think the highest I've seen it was like 400, like double that. And I'm sure there's been days where there were more, but especially after a big quake happens, typically you'll see a rash of aftershocks, like what happened down here in the South Sandwich Islands. And again, sometimes that actually shocks people down here, because we often think that, man, there ain't no earthquakes on the poles. Well, that's actually just sitting outside the Antarctic Circle. It's not actually on the pole. The pole would be down here. But still, that people don't, kind of put two and two together unless you like point it out. So, okay, so let's do this. Let's back that off, and let's check out spaceweather.com. Guys, I go here daily, and I would hope that all you guys do. I really do. These guys do great work, and that's why I get so offended when people take, especially these guys, take their work and put it out there like it's their own. It upsets me to no end. I mean, when I come over here and show you guys this, I leave this part up. I don't crop out this and then read this article like I wrote the article myself. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy train. Maybe I should have played that from Ozzy Osbourne in the intro. Crazy train. So as you can see, they're showing similar things. Right now, we have a current stretch of 3 days of a blank disk. Now they're circling this because that's going to change once this pops over here. I think it has characteristics, obviously, of at least a very active region, coronal prominence at the very least. Most likely it's a sunspot, if not a couple. We can go look at stereo A data, but obviously it's not really that big of an issue until it faces us. But check out these AURORA. I don't think that's even edited, guys. I think that's legitimately what it looked like when he went out there and looked at the sky. That came from Evan Zucker from Alberta, Canada. Okay, so go check out this too. That's his that would be his YouTube page. So please go check that out too. He made a video about here. I'll tell you what. I'll click on it, and that's kind of what you're seeing there. And I'm gonna stop it, okay? Because he deserves the traffic. He did the work. He gets the rewards. So. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate you, buddy. I really do. It's time-lapse, low wages? Yeah, it is. This is time-lapse, for sure. And, that's a big thing too, guys. Believe it or not, when we're looking at this, what are we looking at? We're looking at an astrophotographer. They have a lot to do with how we view the sky. And they have to set their cameras up accordingly. It's a hard thing to do. And get good captures anyway. That there, he just pointed his camera at the sky that time, I think, and left it in the same position. And just kind of like took, captures every so often. But anyway, knocked loose the clouds, nothing there. Fireballs. We had 8. Hardly even worth showing you. So, as you get down here, obviously the red boxes. Remember, these near-Earth objects, they put the date in front of it, at least the year of when it was discovered. You're going to find that from the current date where we're at, the 18th, going into the 19th, almost everything from here back is going to be 2021. And even forward, you can see. But there's some 2017s, 2019, 1998. Look at that one. That one's been around for a minute. But you see more older dates the further forward you go, because that's just how it works. A lot of these that we catch right here, I think a lot of them will get ate up in our atmosphere if they get too close, obviously. Sometimes they'll say a 0.1, and sometimes they may even get just destroyed by solar wind as they go on out. But, yeah. And again, sometimes we don't see them until they're already passed. So, then we're late, So, all right. Let's do this. Let's go back over here to Space Weather Prediction Center I'm booting it up fresh just to see if it's going to give us, if they've got any data here for us to see. Yeah, they updated this part. Now, it could change in like 2 seconds. That's what's been happening. So, from this point forward, no geomagnetic storms. I would look for maybe on the 22nd, maybe on that filament release that I showed you guys. So, if we go down here, we can take a, okay, the end little spiral's updated too. Check this out. All right, so again, we're here. Right about here in time. So let's pause it. We'll go to where we're at in time, about right there. Remember, we got 2 days behind us. This is exactly what happened. This is historic, so they know what happened. When they turn red or purple, and if the southern and northern connect, yeah. Yeah, for sure. 100%. But yeah, so we're right here. 2 days behind, 5 days out in front. That's all right, Trish. If that ever happens, sometimes, guys, if you unsubscribe, she says she didn't get notified, and then resubscribe and go back to the bell and click all. Okay? When you do that, sometimes it'll reset and everything's cool. And you'll start getting notified again. But that sometimes you have to do that. But other times, they just simply fail at it. But anyway, you got this. And then forward as we go. You see how this is kind of just starting to see that right here? See the uptick in the speed? That's either from that coronal hole I showed you guys. Let's try to go back to that real quick. Where are we at? Is this it? Nope. Where are we at? Here it is. This coronal hole, or maybe even up here. Who knows? I think it's more so this one, though. That might be what we're seeing here. Or it could be that filament release. Regardless, they're saying we're going to start seeing an uptick in speed. Notice, look at the speed it's showing. Remember, they change this according to what the current conditions are, so they can show us what's going on. If they didn't do that, sometimes these things would be way off the chart, and other times they'd look like a straight line if the range was too big. So anyway, 700 is 200 kilometers per second above what we consider normal. Now remember, I don't trust this thing this far out. And when I say I don't trust, what I'm saying is that most likely it's going to change as it gets closer. That's all I'm saying. I know using that word trust is kind of insinuating a few things, and that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is saying that the forecast out there isn't as reliable as if we were to look at it here. That's really what I should have said. But there you go. So, Aurora. See, they even got GOES 16 and 17 plotted now again. So, guys, they're just working on that. Obviously, they've got some technical issues. And I thought maybe it was just me. I had to go clean my cookies or something. But it wasn't. Everybody's having issues with this. But here's your Aurora. And again, this is a really good indicator of when we're getting hit with geomagnetic activity. See how it kind of picked up right there on the end? So, this thing was lit up pretty good during that geomagnetic storm. Remember, our magnetic field covers our planet or protects our planet, but it's not like a blanket. There's holes in it, there's cracks, there's weak spots, thinner spots, all of that. So we've actually had geomagnetic storms without any really like true smacks from the sun. Sometimes we'll have a crack and some of that stuff will just leak in. I've reported on that to you guys before when that happens. So yeah. Okay, so you guys got any questions? What time is it here? What we got? Now I know that went on quite a bit, but I stayed straight to the conversation here, to the topic. I know I talked a lot there, but I think I did a little bit better than what I usually do from being all squirrely. Hopefully people can understand that. But who knows? So let me edit that real quick. We'll go from what? Let's just go from 10 minutes in to 40, roughly thereof. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? You guys want me to show you something else, or are we good? Are you guys? Hopefully, you guys are having a good day. I really do. I hope everybody is. Yeah. Unfortunately, you guys talking about unsubscribing and resubscribing. Yeah, there's good and bad to doing that. If you want notifications and stuff, if you're having issues with that sometimes happens. The extended forecast. I don't know if we really have too much. I just showed you the where we at. If I was going to show you an extended forecast, it would be here at the end little spiral. That's kind of what that is. Most, 5 days out in advance. Or you can go up here and you can look here. Okay. I touched on that a little bit. There's really nothing there for the next 3 days. So if the two auroras connect, it would be like magnets. Aurora? No. You're talking about if our magnetic north and our magnetic south. Yeah. But the aurora, like I said, it's on a magnetic connection line. But if you look at our Earth, it's like a bar magnet. So it circles out. It does a loop on both sides, all the way around our planet. What's the matter, Julie? You all right? Did you ask a question? If I missed it, sorry. You okay, Julie? I don't think I... Oh. Yeah, the Canary Island thing. I haven't heard anything else about that. Okay, Tab. I just wanted to make sure I didn't think I missed a question there. I was trying not to. So, yeah. The Canary Island. I'll tell you what. Okay, so if you guys want to know about that, they got articles written all over the place here. Okay? It says earthquake swarm. This is the LA thing, I think. No. Triggers volcanic alert on La Palma. Spain's La Palma. Canary Island volcano could erupt. Could eruption cause landslide or mega tsunami? They're talking about whether or not that could happen. That's actually from New Zealand. You guys can go down through here and see all these. There's going to be a bunch of articles on that because a lot of people have been talking about it. Hey Russell, what's up? Arizona's in the house. Tassie, what's happening? Trish in the hizzy. Susan's in here too. Cool. Pamela. Tab. Who got the cookie today? I didn't look. What's up, Mark? Lee, what's happening? Jack, Anna, good to see everybody, guys. Garden, Bradley. So So you guys got any more questions for me here? Oh, you know, I'm here right now, so if you guys got questions, let me know. Cool. Cool. Cool, Russell. Okay. Well, yeah. So if you guys don't have any questions, you know, we can go ahead and end it here. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a lot of other agencies. Why is there a big V shape on some of the angstroms? Okay, let's go back there and we'll take a look at that. You talking about up here? It's the corona's just taking that shape right now. I'm pretty sure because that, you know, that's it's kind of odd looking, but that's just the shape that it's taken. We can zoom into that. That's from the northern coronal hole. That coronal hole is always there at least a little bit, and it'll start reaching down. I heard somebody say it was either yesterday or the day before. They were talking about they thought maybe the whole sun was turning into a big coronal hole. Guys, that's not happening. Okay? I just don't understand where people get that from. That's a pretty bold statement. If the whole corona of the sun went away, I mean, there's so much implication on that. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate you. But yeah, that's a good eye there for sure. That did take a V shape there, 100%. Hey, Bubba News, what's up? Yeah, no problem, Melissa. White Wolf, what's happening? Well, thank you. Yep. Wouldn't change a thing. Wouldn't change a thing with that. Very lucky. Got to be able to marry my best friend. Really, really lucky. Cheryl, what's up? Thanks for all you do. Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, guys, so, okay, we're all up to date with the info you share us. I'm all, okay, no, we're cool. I mean, if that's what's going on. Hey, Scott, what's up, bud? It's getting ready to end it again, man. And you cut in here late, dude. Crazy stuff. Wow. Just trying to hang in there, man. That's all I can do, you know. That's what we're trying to. Today's my anniversary. Me, I've been married 28 years today. So that's a, you know, a lot of people sit back, oh, that's a great accomplishment. Well, it's not really, you know, if you got to word it like that, it just doesn't sound very good. You know what I mean? It's not really how I feel. I just feel lucky. That's all. Okay, cool. Thanks for dropping that in there. I got a question on that. Scott dropped in there and said Dr. Albers is doing well. So if you guys didn't read that or can't see the chat, that he dropped that in there. So that's good, man. I'm happy to hear that. I really am. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for all the stuff, guys. Cool. I'm really glad to hear that. I mean, all of us were a little, you know, quite worried about her for sure. Not a problem. Not a problem. Julie, I appreciate all you guys. What, Pam say something? Where you at, Pam? Really? I have to check that, Pam, okay? I don't know. Are you talking about mine? That's right. I don't know. I'll have to check it. But okay, guys. I think I am going to go ahead and end it, guys. Thanks for stopping in. If anything else happens, I'll pop back on at least for a minute. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate you. God bless. Yahusha saves. You can drink this Kool-Aid.